16 on your Sunday morning. We are keeping an eye on some possible severe weather. Wes, you've been tracking it basically all night. Any chance we're going to get it soon or later on in the day?
We have about 3 hours, 4 hours until the severe weather threat really begins to ramp up first across northwest Georgia. Atlanta, it'll take even longer than that before things really start to get dangerous or potentially dangerous here. So we're going to have several hours of dry time to enjoy. If you have plans this morning, you should be able to fit them in. 56 currently outside. Wind isn't too bad, but I expect the winds to really pick up later on this afternoon. Temperatures will also pick up. We were in the 60s yesterday. We're going to be in the 60s once again today. In fact, some of us are already knocking on the door of 60. Eatonton, Thomaston, 59 degrees, 57 in LaGrange. Of course, a little bit cooler where there is rain right now. Dalton is at 46 degrees. Rome, looks like you're just dodging a few sprinkles here and there, but for the most part, it's just cloudy. We will begin to see this corner, northwest Georgia, fill in with the showers and thunderstorms as we get closer to the 11 o'clock and the noon lunchtime hour. And then it will all begin to shift south and east with the time. So here is the breakdown of the threat levels outlined by the National Weather Service. We'll start off with the lowest. Level 1 to the north in the green. This is where, again, just after lunchtime, we may find some damaging wind gusts. Overall, a low threat for tornadoes, but they're still possible. Higher threat for isolated brief tornadoes as you get into the yellow. And that pretty much includes all of the Atlanta metro area. You have to get way north into the way northern suburbs to get out of the slight risk. So city of Atlanta, most of us in this level 2, damaging wind gusts and isolated brief tornadoes within a line of thunderstorms possible. Once you get down south closer to Macon, this includes places like LaGrange and Thomaston, just Peachtree City is just north of this. But this is the most concerning area. This is where we're going to have the most ingredients available for severe weather. And so this is the also favored area to find isolated thunderstorms that could produce stronger tornadoes. Here's what the timing has looked like. Northwest Georgia between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. on the I-85 corridor for 2 o'clock to 6 p.m. And then south of that, once you get into Eatonton and Thomaston, between about 5 o'clock and 11 o'clock. This is going to be a rather long day for a lot of us, especially across central Georgia. So particularly for Atlanta, again, between about 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock, the threat for tornadoes and damaging winds. I think damaging wind is going to be the highest threat. We also do have a threat for flash flooding, lightning. And then with the winds and the flash flooding threat, probably going to get trees that topple over, maybe cause property damage or cause power outages. And we also could find some damaging hail. Here's what the radar may look like over the next 12 hours or so. You'll see northwest Georgia begins to fill in with the showers and the thunderstorms. This is what we're watching for. One, these little thunderstorms which may develop ahead of the main line, those may produce those strong tornadoes, and then the main line itself could have damaging wind gusts and brief tornadoes embedded within them. It's going to take quite some time for this line to make it through central Georgia. Atlanta, we may be seeing the rainfall for 3, possibly even 3.5 to 4 hours. Begins at 2. It may not end until 6 o'clock. Again, these are approximate times, so give us about an hour or 2 on either way for the start. As we get into 9 and 10 o'clock, we'll begin to clear out, at least in the Atlanta metro. Central Georgia may be dealing with the thunderstorms up until midnight tonight. Before then, again, we have several hours of dry time in Atlanta, 65 for a high, only a 5 on the odometer. But one thing I want to point out, look at this. Our low this morning was near about 52, 53. Our low tomorrow morning, 35. That's evidence of that cold front coming through. We'll go from spring thunderstorms today to winter temperatures as we get into the next several days. Only a high of 50. Our high tomorrow is essentially going to be what our low was this morning. And then we get down to the 20s for lows, possibly feels like values in the teens in the next week. Then we'll warm back up to the 60s. And unfortunately, we'll watch a chance for another round of thunderstorms, some possibly strong as we get into next weekend.
A weather roller coaster ride. Here we go. Thanks a lot, Wes.